All right, so your goal is to make a function continuous and differentiable at the same time. So continuous has three requirements. F of A must be defined, which is defined because you plug into ax cubed that we would give you a defined thing. But limits as x approach to a or 2 from the left of ax cubed is equal to limits x approach 2 from the positive of x squared plus b. So that is going to give you, this is going to be continuous.
We can't really see.
I'm sorry. So this will be making it continuous. So differentiable, you have to check the other side. Differentiable is going to be limits x approach to 2 from the left. But you have to take a derivative of this. So what's the derivative of this? 3ax squared is equal to limit x approach 2 from the positive side is x squared plus b. So therefore, what is it? Oh, 2x, you're right. And the derivative of b is gone, so it's going to be 2x. So now we're going to plug in 2. That's going to give you 8a is equal to what? 4 plus b. Is that okay? And then for this one, it's going to be 2, 4 times 3 is 12a is equal to 4. Then a is equal to 3. Well, so 1 over 3. I can't divide today. And a is 1 over 3. So it's 8 times 1 over 3 is equal to 4 plus b. So 8 over 3 minus 4 equal to b. I have no idea what's that. Negative what? Negative 4 over 3 is a b. So hopefully it will make sense. So I wanted you to know that now is the difference between continuous and differentiable is ax to the cube, and you should check on decimals because that make you better students because you can see it graphically. If I know how to type. And was x greater than 2 or x less than 2? That's equal to 2? Yeah. And that's going to give you a slider of a. And then what's the other one? X squared plus b? Yeah. And add a slider for b. And then it's going to be a brace. X is what? Greater than 2. Okay, so greater than 2. So obviously there's going to be an infinite amount of choices, and they will constantly they might connect to each other at one point, so it seems like they can connect, but it doesn't mean that they are differentiable. So what do we say a is? What? 1/3? So that looks like this. And the b is what? 1/4? Negative 4 over 3. And you can see that it's completely flawless because you can actually connect each other. So let's just say you can actually connect them, but it's not going to be completely smooth from one side to the other side. It has same exact stuff from one side to the other side. So you have to be able to figure out that they are differentiable. Does that make sense? Okay. So those are just a differentiable part I forgot to mention. And I think it's a good question. Last time we only want them to be continuous. This time we want them to be differentiable. Okay. Questions? Okay, implicit derivative. And then we're gonna, after implicit derivative, tomorrow we're gonna go over it. We're gonna give you a review sheet. What's gonna be on Thursday's test. And probably Wednesday we're gonna start covering something new because we wanna go to related rate. Why is like What's like such a big deal about related rate? Now again, related rate is one of the things that is not covered in AP curriculum. And like I say, I don't really care about AP curriculum because AP curriculum doesn't make you a more overall better students because that's not just calculus. So for example, calculus, the AP calculus ignore those four things. One is related rate and one's optimization. I think that's only two things that need worth to teach in calculus, but AP exam ignore them. Because optimization you can use for commercial purpose, you can use manufacturer commercials and things like that. They also miss trig limits. That is on UCF test, but it's not on the test from the things. And Madeline sent a text message to our meal say, how do I do this? And she sent me a same text message, how do I do this? It was trig limits. But it's on UCF test, but it's not on AP calculus. So I will say AP pretty much did a very shitty job. It's because they kind of take out a lot of important things out to make it easier for kids. The last thing is definition of integral, which is last year you saw. I choose to ignore it last year just because I don't think we can spend 2 or 3 days with only one question on multiple choice, and I'm just not going to sacrifice that time. But this year, we're going to talk about that. We're going to spend 2 days talk about definition of integral, which is that something that's more important. So those are 4 things that I think College Board could have done better job. Oh, and the curve sketching. Used to, in UCF, you will get a function, and they will ask you just flat out without calculator, can you sketch this graph with a slant asymptote, vertical asymptote, horizontal asymptote, y-intercept, x-intercept, domain range, first derivative test, second derivative test, concavity, increasing, decreasing. They will actually give you a whole thing and ask you kind of graph it. But they don't have that in the thing. So 5 things that they miss. And that's like I think super important. So let's talk about graph. Let's talk about implicit derivative. Why do we need implicit derivative? Implicit derivative is using that. I will say it's using that the function that have mixture of x and y. Like and there was some function there was no way for you to solve for y. So like for example, let's say xy equal to 1. You can take a derivative implicitly or you take a derivative explicitly. So if you want to take explicitly, so let's say explicitly, so that's going to be y equal to 1 over x, and just take a derivative dy dx is equal to -1 over x squared. And that's explicit. That means you can solve for y though. There's a possibility for you to solve for y. Now this question, if you're done implicitly, it can be done as well. And you should get very similar answer. But right now, we're not going to worry about this particular question. Now, let's worry about why do we need to use it. So for example, what if it's x squared minus 2y to the cube plus 4y is equal to 2? The problem is this equation is not possible for you to isolate the y. If it's not possible for you to isolate the y, then the only way you can do is we can do things implicitly, which is, I think, the contribution, besides Newton, the major contribution with Limbus was the one that contributed to implicit derivative a lot more, rather than explicitly. Okay. So there is no way, for you to isolate y by itself. So when that situation occur, then you want to take implicit differentiation. For those of you guys are new, or even old, I just want to review this. D to the x of x cubed. So we are taking derivative respect to x on x cubed. So if I do this, those of you guys from if you're in a green wall, you don't know how to take a derivative. I know a lot of people there don't know how to take a derivative, right? So you guys gotta help them. When derivative is not that hard. So if you take a derivative of x cubed, it's actually 3x squared. But what happened? There's actually a chain rule involved. Do you see it? Is actually there is a times 1 because I gotta take a derivative of x respect to x. Right? This is actually like dx over dx. Because you take a 3x squared, do I have to take a derivative of x respect to x? Technically you do, right? So it's gonna be 1 over there. Even it's invisible, but it's still there. So that is a chain rule. Does that make sense? Yes or no? Okay. So now what if I take a derivative of y squared? Y to the cube. So if it's a y to the cube, then there's a chain rule involved because this is going to be 3y squared times the derivative y respect to x. So instead of write down dx over dx here, it's going to be dy dx. Which as we know, this is the derivative of a y function, f prime of x. Okay. Am I going too fast? Okay. So let's take a derivative x of negative 6 x squared y to the third. Now I love this one because a lot of you guys always did it wrong. Because what you don't see is there is a product rule. No, 3. Negative 6x squared to the third. So if you've never done it, just follow with me right now because those of you guys already done it, knowing what to do. Usually I take the negative 6 outside like this and I put a parenthesis just because I think that's easier because you can always distribute it back. Now, every time I take a derivative of x squared, that's just normal derivative. That's going to be 2x y to the cube. But there's a product rule involved, so it'll be plus. Now I'm going to leave the first one alone, so it'll be x squared, and take a 3y squared. And then don't forget about this. This is a dy dx. And then after that, I'll distribute to negative 12x to y to the cube plus 3x squared y squared dy dx. And that's how I approach this.
Negative 6 to the
Oh, negative 6. Did I forget that?
Yeah, you did.
So negative 6 times 3 is negative 18. Maybe. I'm not really focusing today. Is that okay? Okay. Okay. So I want you to take a derivative. This one's not too bad. I want you to find. So this one's obviously not something you can find. X squared is equal to negative 4. And I want you to find dy dx by itself. So I'm going to go through it because some of you guys never learned this. Yulia, have you learned this in? Maybe? Okay.
We just don't write dy dx.
You write y prime, right? You write like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Same thing. I usually write down dy dx just because for me, I think it make me see better things, but not necessary. Y prime is fine. No, I know why I don't do y prime, is because sometimes like especially like Calc 1 student, if I do y prime, they think y to the first power, and that's bad. And you can't even tell my 2 and 3, then there's no way you can tell my 1 and the prime. So I'm not gonna take that risk. So yeah, I remember why now. I don't do y prime. And I kind of just got used to dy dx. So what's the derivative of y cubed? Now remember, take a derivative of this, -4. A lot of people last year get it wrong. It's 0. I think Mobco is probably the one of those people got it wrong. Did you get it wrong? That's a shame. You don't know how to take a derivative of -4? Last year you got it wrong too, I remember. Me. I'm not, you already take a derivative of -4, that's gonna go away. So what you're gonna do is remove that 2x to the other side and just factor out dy dx. And then you just solve for it. Dy dx is equal to 2x over 3y squared plus 2y minus 5. Now at this part, I can ask you 2 questions. I can ask you, can you tell me where the horizontal tangent is? Where the horizontal tangent is? Where does horizontal tangent occur in here? At 0, good. How do I find vertical tangent? Where does vertical tangent occur? Yes. 0 for the denominator. So remember, numerator of dy dx equal to 0 is horizontal asymptote. And denominator of dy dx equal to 0 is called vertical asymptote. Oh shit. Is it tangent? Yeah, tangent shit. Yeah, right. And my mind's not really up to it today. I'm so sorry. Tangent. Thank you, Matthew. So it's a tangent. Vertical tangent and horizontal tangent. But make sure that you can find it if I ask you for it. Is that okay? Okay, let's start with one of them and ask you to find just ask you to find dy dx. So 6x squared minus 5x squared y plus y to the cube equal to 10. I want you to find dy dx here and make sure everybody got the same thing. You can choose to use y prime if you think that's better for you. I don't really care, as long as you get your math right.
So it's only the numerator equal to 0?
It's a horizontal tangent. In the implicit derivative. Huh? Because if numerator equal to 0, entire thing is equal to 0. Because 0 divided by anything is 0. If denominator equal to 0, 2 things can happen. So I think I know why I was thinking about vertical asymptote. Because second thing can possibly happen is that location you could have vertical tangent or vertical asymptote. Really depend on the situation. So this only pretty much more for like more for implicit derivative though. More for implicit derivative. The hardest part to take a derivative is that middle part right here. I'm gonna tell you that. Now, if you want a slope at x equal to 1, in 1. Or 1 comma 2. Devin, you finish? Can you check out Brenner and Charlie? Man, can you check out Ilya and Ada? You guys are good?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it takes 5 years. I distributed. You distributed. Yeah.
Let's take a derivative.
I know I did. What do I do here? I'm still checking out. I don't know. Yeah. How do you know? I mean, you understand? Here, okay. Here we're missing. No, so. Oh yeah, that's been X word. Oh yeah, that's yeah. Yeah, you can't. I can't take that. Okay, how can I figure it out?
I don't know if I did it right, but I've been making a lot of mistakes today, so. Yeah, you okay? It's right? Last year, this was like so hard. This year is
I
like.
hated this. It was like my least. This is the thing I hated last year. Yeah, I hated it. I love it, but I Shut up. I'm dumb.
What? Now, I can ask you to find slope at, let's say, 1 comma 2, then just plug in comma 1 comma 2. 1 for x, y for the thing. You can back out a negative, that doesn't make a change. Okay, let's give you some fun one. you say? Why talk about so much shit?
Actually, do you get a shape? Yeah. I noticed it. Shape is refreshed. Yeah, but like,
Yeah, it's for
he said he turned his eye up.
Okay, then just finish the question.
I'm done.
This answer is pretty ugly. What? You want to know how ugly it's? Just look at Marco.
Bro, I was about to say the same thing about you. Oh, that's so close. Oh, it's so close.
Rogov sent me a message yesterday. It says, "Mystery, I dream about you." It's like he dreamed that we almost got in a fist fight. What did you do that I want to curse you off? Did I ever cuss anybody off?
Yeah.
Well,
I cuss so much.
how super Brayden?
No, he's there for sure.
You know what he did? He said he's not a joke. But except he said that's my
I am tired.
Me too.
You come in too early.
My dad had to go fishing.
Wait,
I was like, why are you coming this early?
Wait, when did you?
Uh,
I know she had a nice life. She come in full plate and she still complains she's tired.
I'm not. What do you think he asked for? I'm tired of this talk.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Okay, if you take a derivative, watch the argument. So there's the two layers. There's the first layer, there's the second layer, right? So you should have cosine of x squared plus y times what? 2x plus dy dx equal to 2y dy dx. Then this whole thing gonna distribute. So it'll be 2x cosine of x squared plus y plus dy dx times cosine of x squared plus y equal to 2y dy dx. And move into the other side, so it'll be cosine of x squared plus y. And I'm going to factor out dy dx. So it'll be 2y minus cosine of x squared plus y. And then dy dx equal to 2x cosine of x squared plus y over 2y minus cosine of x squared plus y. Is that okay? Okay. Make sure, please don't cancel something when you don't have to. Last year, I've seen people cancel out the x cosine of x squared plus y and the cosine of x squared plus y, and the answer is 2x over 2y, and the answer will be x over y. No, don't do that. Then some crazy stuff happen. Okay, so this is all pretty easy. Let's talk about second derivative. So you can take a second derivative of this. You want to try second derivative or you want me to go over it? You can try first. I need lunch, so that's my lunch. Y squared. It's a circle, by the way.
You're such an Asian man.
What'd you say? Asian old man?
No.
Wow.
Like, you're such an Asian dad message.
Maybe see.
Well, yeah, he is. Like,
Yeah, I know.
he gives that energy. So.
What I told my kids, like if they did a good job, I'll be like, yeah, you don't suck.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
I don't take good job. Wow, for once you don't suck. No, there's no good job in our vocabulary. Ow. You guys remember? I'm gonna take a derivative implicitly because this is gonna be 2x plus 2y dy dx. The first derivative seems pretty easy. So that's gonna be negative 2x equal to 2y dy dx. And dy dx is equal to negative x over y. Now I'm going to take a derivative again, d to the dx. Now notation you have to make sure it's correctly. It's d2 y dx2 like this. So now it's going to be low d1 d high minus high d low and over low. So far we're okay. That's not the hardest part. The hardest part is actually using the dy dx here and this right here, because dy dx is it's actually one of the thing. So it'll be negative y plus x times negative x over y. Does that make sense? So now you just combine fraction. So I multiply that side by y over y. That's going to give you y. Negative y squared minus x squared, right? Am I doing okay? So it'll be negative x squared plus y squared over y. And divided by y squared is what? Y cubed. So that would be negative x squared plus y squared over y cubed. I have not done yet. What I have not done? What'd you say? Wow, 25, good job. Where did 25 come from? The original equation. This year was so hard for you guys that most of you guys, one of the questions that keep on mess up. Hopefully it's easier this year.
squared y over dx squared equals the,
Wait.
where do you go from there?
Well, the red part.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you see this dy dx right here?
Yeah.
You can use this dy dx right here to plug in, install that. So this one is gonna replace this negative x over y. Does that make sense? And now just combine fraction. But n usually have something to do with the original equation. And then usually there's an original equation there. Is that okay? Pyro, you understand? Last year you struggled on this too. This year is it better or no? Huh? Good. Can I move on? Okay. What? You got a 49 this test? Yeah? Hopefully there's some improvement.
We won't know for a while.
It's gonna be furious.
Last time I didn't really get to finish the things for the kinematic. So one thing that I want to tell you is how much time I have.
3 minutes.
Okay, so this is called position functions, and I did right. And this one is gonna be usually negative 16 t squared plus v0 t plus s0. That's that. But I think I forgot to mention something. So if you take a derivative of position, that's gonna give you velocity. And this is not any type of velocity, it's actually instantaneous velocity. So instantaneous velocity, so that's equal to v of t. Now, one thing last year people always make the mistake is they get confused between average velocity and instantaneous velocity. And especially the equation for instantaneous velocity, they thought it's changing velocity over changing time, but it's actually changing position over changing time. Okay. So the average velocity is gonna be changing a position over changing time. Please don't make mistake. Velocity change is actually the position change. Now, I think I forgot to mention last week's note. What is average acceleration? What is the average acceleration? Changing velocity over changing time, and that's what people usually get confused. Um, that's average acceleration. So if you want to find out velocity at a certain time, you take a derivative, you plug in the value. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a homework question about that. Huh? Yeah.
We have a test.
Spring wall.
He's giving us.
Is he linear on grade? Probably.
And a hard grader. You can be a good and a hard grader.
I don't think he's a hard grader, right?
It's not a hard. It's not a hard.
But he said he's not first.
It's not. In chemistry, you didn't clear that. You just gave you the score, but we only have 2 tests in chemistry.
4 year? 4 year? 2 tests?
Yeah, that's it. Easy thing.
2 tests?
To be fair, what did your like order chemistry do like with that?
The one thing that I still do that when we were at this school. Remember when we did G?
Oh, I got everybody's pass rate. I'm gonna see his pass rate.
When we did. Do you remember when we did these?
No, I think he did pretty well last year. You guys are trying really hard though.
I was confused why you just take it through.
Oh no, the year before.
That's Kelly. I didn't know this one.
Mr. Ye.
Hey, why do you just
The
take
year
it
before last year's test
through?
was 30.
How do you know?
30's not bad.
Remember, because you don't have to follow. Remember? Oh, that's remember this? Oh, this is right? Got it. That's just to get that. Thank you. Hi, Ryan. Are you ready?
I'm not ready. I didn't even memorize my
I
script.
memorized my script, but like I still feel like I'm gonna mess it up and say something about old people being wrong.
I was gonna have to mention Snapchat filter. Snapchat filter can actually decrease fence call.
Speed.
Girl, that's how you speak. Oh! Oh my god!
What the hell is going on?
No, she just like threw it and she made it in the trash can.
From all the way over here,
Oh my
Mr.
god.
Oh my god, I
Dude,
should
that's actually-
be a
I
basketball
don't actually
player.
think you'd
Oh my
actually.
god.
You should not.
No, mine would be like, hey, wouldn't really see that the people over the age of 65, because of the spread of fake news, influence the presidential election. Therefore, this shows that a lot of people spread news, and if older people directly affected the election, this correlates to a huge population of the elderly who are politically active on Facebook.
Okay, as we're gonna mention Snapchat filter.
Honestly, I don't even know if everything I do is like
And CBI doc.
Right.
Mention.
What's up, Anthony? Are you going to that retreat thing on Saturday? I'm gonna be there, bro. I'm gonna be there, bro.
I took a
Church retreat?
Yeah. Cause we just,
That's cool.
I wanted to go somewhere, and they're like, I'll let you go if you come to this. I was like, cool. Georgia.
Wow. So that's the Olympia.
I'll have so much fun, Anthony. We're gonna have so much fun.
Dude, you guys' pass rate is actually pretty decent for
Real?
chemistry. 59%. Yeah, you guys are awesome. Chemistry is not bad.
I don't care, Anthony.
I'll see.
They're not in SUNY, but they're confirmation.
No, they all signed this off without even
I know.
Windermere has higher than us.
So excited to spend 8 hours with your favorite calc classmate.
What are you talking about?
you think for church. It's like basically like suicide, but
Yeah, they're like convincing me so hard. They're like, it's helping you about like dealing with stress, and like it's gonna be so good for you. And I'm like, oh, okay, like
I'll be in your hospital.
We are gonna have lesson. You're not gonna skip, are you?
me.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were gonna skip.
I said, I'm just saying like once the time lesson is over, I'm like if you see me disappear, just don't worry about it.
That's very scary. Chemistry is respectable.
I hate chemistry.
No, chemistry, you guys have 59% pass rate.
Yeah. No, I didn't. No, you were doubting it. I didn't spare because it was like the last like 2 weeks.
No, because the people say you and Matthew, you guys didn't do anything on it.
This is the grind at the last. We both should have failed. I'll be honest.
You both should have.
What was the physics one?
Physics 1? 47%. 85% for mechanic. Electricity, why is that says star? I don't know. Nobody take it? Oh, that's a, no, sorry. This is Bone High School. I got it wrong. Olympia. Oh, Olympia Physics 1's 15%. 15%.
Oh, that's ooh. No,
42% for electricity, magnetism, and mechanic. No, wait, 42%.
No way.
Olympia. 42% for mechanic.
Sucks.
Huh?
Olympia.
Physics 1. Oh my gosh.
47%. 44. No,
Yeah, you need much up. Wait, what's the mechanics 42? Wait, so what happened to Shay, what happened to you now?
I don't know why it says star. I have no idea. Nobody got a score.
It's too low to count.
I wonder what did I say star is, man.
Only 15% past them.
Wait.
Would be at the top.
Spanish is pretty high.
Root is great. That's physics.
Huh?
Physics C for root.
Yeah, 85%.
So few you guys, that would still make sense.
What does that mean?
Psychology. Yeah.
Where'd you get this? Did they send this to you? Did anyone like? What about shit? Are we able to
I want to check statistic. Olympia statistic. Hold on a second.
Wait, did like? Oh yeah.
Olympia.
What's in the different like?
So,
Oh yeah, there you go.
go to all.
What about if you like?
Total assessment 7, but there's no result. Did disqualify them? And that's only in school is because no. Physics average score is 1.55. The average mechanic is
6 people got one.
Only passed or 10 people passed physics. Wow. Wait.
Here. How many
Wait, out of how many people? 10 people passed out of 66. How many people passed that?
46 people at 1.
That's crazy.
For physics.
Wait, physics 1. Were you guys in physics 1?
Oh, that's a good one.
Did you pass it?
I got 4.
This is year one.
Oh, okay. You're one of those kids. You have 4 kids.
Wait,
Who's got a
only I got 1.
and you got a 4?
Wait, so how many people got 4?
4.
Really?
And there was 5 person of 3, and the rest will fail.
Does it say how many people took the class?
Yeah.
66.
Nice.
And I don't know what happened with the electricity. I'm really wondering what happened here. Do they get disqualified?
Why would it get disqualified?
Let me check other school. Hold on a second. Physics. They didn't have. Yeah, they didn't have mechanic.
This is weird. Somehow.
You guys see Windermere?
Huh?
Only 10 people.
I'm wondering what about Windermere too.
It might be
Wait,
because-
there's no Windermere.
But that's fine. Maybe it's just, I think it's just too small. People. But even then,
They had one person taking AP Chinese.
I'm telling you, that person is Chinese.
Did he pass though?
no,
I think it's 1%. Yeah, you might need 10 people.
Huh?
You might need 10 people to.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, 10 people to show.
It should still work. Yeah, only
46. 46%
46 is the pass.
calc.
No.
46?
30 people got.
We got compared to
We got like 97.
yeah. But like, what's the like county average?
County average
Like-
is, I don't know. Oh, that you need to check on the first one. Pass rate by school. County for. Oh, this is overall. Oh, this is overall.
I think you can keep on scrolling. No?
District, yeah, there we go. District is, well, calculus is 52.
Wait, 80 is.
700 student, or 700 people pass. 13. You guys still below, still below, a little bit below.
I'm sure like feel better.
I think Greenwald did a good job, or you guys did a good job.
I think it was more the students than it was teaching.
I think so too,
On
but I don't think you did a bad job.
Physics too.
Okay.
One of the 10 people in the district to go to 4. Wait, nice, dude. Your boss was one we said go. Dude, I thought I forgot that.
Okay, so that was funny because. Okay, so we're gonna go to implicit derivative today. You good?
Yeah.
I mean, you better? You been good? Okay. I start feel that rebuff's coming back. A rebuff I know. Right? You're coming back, right? The rebuff I know coming back. Okay, so first question, I'm gonna start with this question. It says f of x equal to a x to the cube when x is less than 2, x squared plus b when x is greater than 2. And I want to make this function differentiable everywhere, not continuous. Differentiable everywhere. So, you guys should already know this.
I just like dropped.
What?
I dropped out.
I'll support you. Farmer honestly is gonna make if you build in like a right place, I think in the future food crisis is gonna be a very severe. Farmer is gonna,
Live on like a farm with a dog.
that's cool. I don't mind the life. I wish I could do that. I wish I can do that.
Why do I need this?
Well, I feel like you could though. You choose to be a teacher.
True. I don't like farming. I don't want to go out.
Just have people work for you while you sit on the farm.
Not a bad idea. Hire all the
What are you gonna say?
immigrants.
Okay. Are you still streaming?
Immigrants. I didn't say immigrant.
Wait, are you?